Hey everybody, and welcome to this video that I promised I'd make once I get 300 subs on my Twitch channel, which is gonna revolve around counterpicking. We decided, or I also let you guys vote about it, which you would rather have of all heroes or maybe only of the flavor heroes of the month. We decided that it's gonna be the flavor picks. It's around 25-ish heroes, if I remember correctly. And I will try to go in depth on what you should think about, like how can you counter it in the draft, how can you counter it maybe with a quick playstyle. It's gonna revolve, just to give you a quick summary, it's gonna revolve around heroes such as Maiden, Dark Willow, Enchantress, Necrophos, Skywrath, Phoenix, Lycan, Bloodseeker, Spectre, Warlock, Trean, Pudge, and so on. So I'll just basically name a few heroes that I'll go through. I'll go from strength to agi to intelligence of the heroes that I think are played a lot, where it could be useful to talk about. I'll give my first impressions, then I'll try to tell you what I think counters them, and then we can have a quick look at a website as Dota Buff, for example. In this case, I will use Dota Max because I think they had the most accurate representation of pubs. You could choose pubs from a specific standpoint and ranked and high skill, etc. So we're gonna start with Phoenix. This hero is a very strong team fighter. That's definitely his strength. So when I play Phoenix, what I hate to face the most are heroes such as Morphling, Anti-Mage, Slark, Troll Warlord is very strong. Heroes that have silences, so a hero like Silencer would come to mind. Long range people that can jump you are very good. But I think first and foremost, the style of you do not want to play in a split push game as Phoenix, because you don't give any catch to catching these heroes such as Morphling or Anti-Mage and whatnot. So this hero really does not want to play a split push type game whatsoever. He's also not good against heroes that buy magic immunity or have inherent magic immunity. So let's have a quick look at what Dota Max will tell us. So here, as you can see, this is Phoenix. You see Morphling, Anti-Mage. The reason why they're so good against you is that they're pretty good in lane against you. Phoenix has low armor, so Morphling can easily own you in the lane. Your damage also isn't the highest. Anti-Mage just doesn't really care too much about you. Also, at any point, if they want, they can focus your egg if they want to. And then you have other heroes such as Oracle. He can purge. Silencer should be somewhere here as well. I'm surprised Silencer is this far down. Silencer is not too far down. Silencer is a very good hero against him. Silencers such as Skywrath, Ricky, all these heroes. Troll is also up here. So like I said, heroes that can purge are very good against you. Heroes that can play a split push style are good against you. Heroes with built-in attack speed and magic immunity, or heroes that want to buy items such as BKB. So if I would have to give you one of the best picks against Phoenix, I would definitely advise you to try and pick a hero such as Morphling, Troll Warlord, maybe Juggernaut can be good. If you're playing support, Silencer, Skywrath, etc., they're very good. So then we can move on to the next hero, which is going to be Axe, who is slightly different. I want daytime. The thing with Axe, in my opinion, what counters Axe is vision. Like, I don't want to go too in depth of like which specific hero is good against it. I'll try to give you guys more general aspects so that you can remember it better. Because if I just name you 10 heroes, you're gonna forget half. But if I give you 1-2 main points and you just remember one of them, then you need to think about it yourself, and it just may work better for you. So heroes that give you vision are good against Axe. They're also good with Axe. Heroes that come to mind would be Venomancer with Venom Wards, Night Stalker with his great vision. Those are like two prime examples for me. Heroes that survive Blade Mail are very good examples. So you would look at Nyx, you would look at Monkey King. Not sure how many other heroes come to mind. Heroes like Timbersaw that don't really care about Blade Mail. Like, even if you call them, it doesn't matter. Heroes that abuse your tankiness when you're not blade mailed. Heroes such as OD. Heroes that can save are good against Axe. And he gets countered by Yule Scepter as an item. And he is not good. He struggles a lot against AoE spells like Warlock. Like if you run into an upheaval suddenly, something like that. Or if you get caught in a golem stun in your initiation. Stuff like that can really hurt you. Let's see what Dota Max tells us about Axe. We have it prepared here. Alright, so here you have, for example, your Lifestealer, the guy that is pretty good against you in lane. He can take off your battle hunger. He has high HP. He will naturally lifesteal back against you when you call him. You have a hero as you have a Bad Rider hero who really punishes you for your low move speed. Axe really doesn't like to be slowed or, like I said, be caught in these AoE spells. Napalm would be enough, or a Gale from Venomancer. Here you have Timbersaw, who just doesn't really care if you call him. He's also too tanky. Same applies to like Necrophos. Like heroes that don't care too much about blade mail or that are just inherently too tanky, in my opinion, are very good against Axe. I would advise you to try and not to pick a ranged hero in the lane against Axe that has a hard time laning against him, because battle hunger is what good Axe players will abuse in the lane. So, moving on to the next hero, we have Lycan. Lycan, just straight out of my head, Lycan hates physical damage a lot. Sorry, I need to change something real quick. He hates physical damage a whole lot. He hates AoE lockdown. For example, he doesn't like to be ravaged because it will hit his Necro book. It will also hit him. He also wants to win the fight mainly during his ultimate. So he's on a little bit of a timer. It's 18 seconds. And he doesn't like evasive heroes too much, because obviously Lycan wants to play against heroes that don't want to be ran at. For example, really good heroes to play Lycan against would be Skywrath Mage. You send your Necro book on him with your ult and he will die. Drow Ranger, Luna, what have you. All those heroes. So to sum it up again, physical damage, very strong against Lycan. AoE lockdown is strong against Lycan. He's on a timer, so if you have heroes that can like try to delay the fight, like Save, Winter's Curse, whatever, then evasive heroes, any hero with a blink or that buys multiple like elusive items is very good. And then of course armor items are very good against Lycan as well. Your Solar Crest, your Crimson Guard. A good Lycan will purge it off, but it's still pretty good. So we're moving on to Lycan. Like I said, what did I mention? Physical damage, AoE lockdown, elusive heroes, and heroes that can maybe delay the fight. So here you have Bristleback. Lycan has 0 armor, he gets abused by that. Same story with Terrorblade. The reflection is super strong. Winter Wyvern, he just saves you. Slaughter puts another big boom on you with his minus armor. Same with Dazzle. He can save and make you take more damage. Same with Templar Assassin. So basically heroes that deal a lot of damage and don't have to run away from Lycan are very good, because Lycan wants to run at you and he doesn't want to run away. Those are some very good points. Next hero, we will go over to my good old friend Pudge, who I don't have the most knowledge about. And remember that this is not a video because I'm God and I'm God Almighty and I know everything, but it's more so to try and help you guys and just give you a view of what I think. And then I'll obviously go over what it also says on a page like Dota Max, for example. Pudge is a hero such as Lycan, where he really hates physical damage. If you look at it, he has 0.5 armor. If we just take a quick look, let's say we go to level 15. Let's spawn a few enemies real quick for the sake of it. Let's kill all of them. And let's just look at a Pudge, right, that... Yeah, it's not too crazy to say that you are gonna be in 8 kills. Yeah, so you've been in 8 kills with Pudge. You're level 10 to 15. You have insane amount of HP. Like maybe you buy a hood because that's a really potent item on Pudge, but you only have 4 armor. So if heroes get to run at you, or just, you know, yeah, if people just get to run at you, like, you die super fast. Even though you have high HP, it's like inflated, because magic damage will take a long time to kill you. Even if you don't have a hood, you have fucking flesh heap, which comes about the same. It comes very close. So physical damage is very good against Pudge. Heroes that can be heroes that are fast and elusive are also very good against Pudge. And in my opinion, summons are also pretty strong against Pudge. And lineups that just ball together and have like summons around them are very strong against Pudge. So we're gonna have a quick look what Dota Max tells us about Pudge, because I'm uncertain. Alright, Lycan for example. Lycan, he'll just run at you, he deals physical damage, you will die. Visage, it makes sense. He has birds, they will kill you, you have no armor. Undying, you don't hit the tombstone. So like you can see, you have a hard time with all of these heroes that just deal physical amounts of damage or just run at you with some summons. So you really don't like to deal with that. Let's go over to the next hero, which will be Trean Protector. With Trean, I have a bit of a different opinion. I've played a little bit of Tree lately. So, Tree does not like to play against... There's a few heroes that in my opinion are very good or that I look to pick, which is, for example, Beastmaster. He destroys Trean's laning phase. Or he makes it a lot harder, because he can cut all the trees in the lanes. Like, when you start the game, you can run to one lane, cut the trees, and then you go to your normal offlane, and you can cut those trees. Also, you buy a Necro book, we can purge living armor, but let's get more into that later. Trean doesn't like to play against heroes that can purge or instantly kill living armor, which means it's spells that have a lot of low damage ticks, but many. Bad Rider kills it super fast. Iron Shell is probably one of the prime examples. Urn is a very good item against it as well, because every tick removes a living armor charge, unless I am mistaken here. Treant also doesn't like to play against insane amount of wave clear and multiple heroes that push towers. Treant is really good against lineups that don't push towers, but if they have a lot of tower push, then your living armor just becomes very useless. And if the enemy team has a lot of wave clear, it also becomes hard for you to defend towers, because they may hit multiple towers at the same time. And also heroes that can purge and want to buy a Manta style and BKB, it can be quite hard for you to play against those heroes. Let's have a look at what Dota Max tells us, whether we're stupid or what's the play here. So you don't like to play against some heroes that you can't pressure, such as Alchemist. A hero like Slark, he can purge your ulti, you won't really ever pressure him. Like I said, Darkseer's up there. Visage, you have a hero like Timber who just shreds through you and through your living armor. Same with Phoenix, he kills your armor super fast, he has insane team fight. Phantom Lancer is hard to catch. Heroes with purges, as you can see here, Abaddon, Oracle, and these evasive heroes such as Morphling. All these heroes that buy Mantas are very strong against your little Trean Protector. So now we're going to look at agility heroes. We have Bloodseeker. I think with these heroes I have a little more and better input to give you guys. Bloodseeker, I think he hates... There's a lot of things that Bloodseeker doesn't like. He doesn't like magic burst or too much damage over time. He's okay against low damage, but as soon as you get over a certain threshold, Bloodseeker has a lot of problems. In terms of laning phase, Bloodseeker doesn't like to play against heroes that have heal or can heal their teammates, because the lower HP you are in the lane, the stronger the enemy Bloodseeker will be, of course. So in my opinion, a good idea is to have perhaps a healing lane somewhere. Like the lane that's going to fight a lot, it could be cool to have a healer in that lane, because then the Bloodseeker won't go crazy off of his passive. He doesn't like evasive heroes that, for example, get ruptured and don't care. Like, for example, Morphling would be a pretty cool pick, in my opinion, against Bloodseeker. He has magic burst, he has high damage, he has high armor, and when you rupture him, you can waveform a long time. And you can have 2 health bars with when you ulti on Morphling. And then Bloodseeker doesn't like lane counters. Of course, yes, no hero likes lane counters, but it's very extreme with Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker relies on winning his lane. So when he doesn't, this hero is just completely shit. One of my favorite counters to Bloodseeker is Venomancer. His magic damage is just way too high for you to deal with. Whether it's in the lane or throughout the game, it is very hard. So once again, to sum it up, magic burst or too much overtime damage, Venomancer, that's why he's one of the greatest heroes in my opinion. Evasive heroes are very good, such as Morphling. Lane counters, where for example, in my opinion, Venomancer also falls under, but there's going to be a few more. So let's have a look at what Dota Plus tells us about this. Oh, of course. long range catch and magic damage is very good against Bloodseeker. I forgot to mention the long range catch. Storm Spirit, he can catch you throughout the whole game, and if you don't have a BKB, perhaps you're Blood Rage, you will die very fast. Same with Tinker, insane amount of magic damage. Same with Zeus. You have heroes such as Ember Spirit, like I said, evasive hero. Same with Storm Spirit. They don't care if you rupture them. They will get out. They will still lock you down, deal magic damage. You have Venomancer here. You have Morphling here because, as I said, he's evasive. Doesn't really care about rupture all too much. And then you have some other heroes that can just burst you or kill you with one of their spells, such as Jugger, another long range catch with Clockwork. So yeah, I think that covers the Bloodseeker fairly well. The next hero is going to be Broodmother, actually. Broodmother is perhaps a little harder to counterpick, because usually Broodmother will be picked late into the game, which is fairly hard to deal with, but sadly that is just how some games are gonna go. Always counters to Brood are heroes that counter her in the lane, or at least that can do good in her lane, which would consider heroes that have either high physical nuke or a high magic nuke. It's easier to kill them with physical because the spiders have 0 armor and the spiders have high magic resistance, but we'll get more into that later. Let's say you get into a game where Brood has a good game and you can't do much about it, like he 10th picks Brood. What is your best choice to go against it? Make sure you try to put your lanes as good as possible. Put the one guy against Brood that has the best chance of withstanding the lane, holding your tower or killing the spiders, what have you. Stuff like that. Let's say the game goes on and you can't really counter him through the lane. Well, Brood will have a good game. What does Brood not like to face later on as the game goes on? Brood doesn't like to face heroes in fights that can man-fight her during her BKB. Brood is a very BKB-reliant hero, so the more the BKB goes down, the harder it gets for Brood to play. So like I said, heroes that can man-fight her. You have your Troll Warlords, I don't know, your Svens, whatever. Heroes that press BKB and hit him. Monkey King, etc. Brood doesn't like to play against BKB disabling heroes. Like I said, Brood is very reliant on this BKB. So if you can kite the Broodmother around in teamfights with 4 staffs, maybe Solar Crest, you can buff a guy up, Glimmer Capes, Yule Scepters on yourself, E-Blades, Ghost Scepters. Very potent items because Brood, she wants to win the fight, preferably in her BKB and her ultimate. Also in early game items such as Spirit Vessel, very good against Brood. Because when she has a good game but no BKB or BKB on cooldown, she will fight you with her ulti. But if you Vessel her, it is just way harder as Brood, trust me. I played a lot of Brood. Just make sure that you try to do what you can against Brood. And if you have nothing to counter her in the lane, do whatever you can with your lanes to transition around. And then make sure that you kite her in teamfights. The hero is very strong, but it does fall off a little to the late game. She's still strong, but it's manageable. So let's see what Dota Max tells us, what is good against Broodmother. You have your obvious heroes that can lane against her. Meepo, Sven, Beastmaster, he can lane against her. He also has a BKB lockdown, which is great. Earthshaker has a lot of lockdown. Naga Siren, great hero against Brood. When you play Naga against Brood, you can wait for her to BKB and then net her during the BKB. You can song during the BKB and net him and then only go on him if that's the choice. Here you have a hero such as Troll Warlord because, like I said, he can man fight. He can also lane against the hero. You have a hero like Legion. He can lane against Brood. Same with Monkey King, Magnus, Timber. You get the point. So let's move on over to the next hero, which is going to be Clinks. I'm not too knowledgeable about Clinks in this sense, but I'll just give you what I've got, the input that I know about this hero. Clinks hates heroes that can, aka run at you heroes. This would be your Lycan type hero, your Phantom Lancer, your Slark, those heroes that just, they go in, they hit you, and Clinks has to run. Clinks wants to come out of Invis, kill someone, perhaps go back or keep fighting. Clinks also doesn't like to play against Vision and armor items. He really doesn't like to play against all these Crimson Guards and Solar Crest. Eventually you can purge it with Nullifier, but anything that turns your 1, 2, 3 second kill into a 4, 5, 6 second kill really hurts you. And like I said, Vision, Bounty Hunter, Zeus ultimate, all that jazz makes it very hard for Clinks to play. But most importantly, heroes that can run at Clinks. Let's see if Dota Max would agree with me, you have Clinks, whatever, this hero doesn't deal with Clinks. Lone Druid, you have Broodmother, you can't lane against it, she can run at you. Yeah. Here you have Slark, he gives pretty good vision, he can catch you. Phantom Lancer, Bad Rider gives vision, can run at you and can catch you, very bad. Terrorblade is good because Clinks doesn't deal with illusions. You have heroes like Bounty Hunter and Spellbreaker, they give vision and they can scout you out. Same with Slaughter, he can run at you, he can give vision, so it makes a lot of sense. Hope you guys get the point. Next hero is going to be Phantom Lancer. I think a bit of a easier hero to try and counter and talk about and overall go over. Phantom Lancer. Just the things that come to mind when I think of PL is AoE damage, whether it's AoE burst damage or just AoE or constant AoE damage. Those are very strong. Then you have AoE lockdown, of course, so that you can stun all the PLs. And then if you don't have a good team, a way you can counter PL are items like Radiance and Mjolnir. I think those are pretty decent concepts. We don't have to look at specific heroes. We all know heroes that are good against PL. Axe, for example, is already one of them. Anything that has an AoE spell, an AoE stun, overall AoE presence is just good against PL. So we can have a quick look at Dota Max to see what they tell us. Darkseer, he can... I mean, any melee core that use shield and have illusions on your hero till you lose HP. Same with Timbersaw, you have a hard time dealing Timbersaw, he deals AoE damage. Axe, Crystal Maiden, Magnus, Underlord, Ember. Anything with an AoE, AoE lockdown, AoE catch, Storm Spirit's a very potent mid hero. You get the drill. This hero isn't too hard to deal with, in my opinion. So, we just went over PL. The next hero is going to be Spectre. Spectre is a little bit harder, in my opinion, to deal with and a little bit easier to execute for the person that is playing it. Spectre is a little bit different. I'm more going to talk about game styles that Spectre hates rather than specific heroes. I think Spectre hates fast games. Spectre doesn't like to play fast-paced games. Games where the enemy starts pushing, games where the enemy starts fighting everywhere around the map. You have high cooldown on Haunt, you're not a strong hero in early fights, you just want to sit in that lane, hit, your Haunt is ready, so be it, and then you go and fight against your opponent. So Spectre doesn't like fast games at all. Spectre also doesn't like aggressive lanes. Like, Spectre wants to play in this lane where she's sort of content with farming and not constantly getting harassed. That's why you often see these lanes such as Spectre Warlock, or Spectre Dazzle, Spectre Witch Doctor. They give you that sustain and then you don't care so much if they're hitting you and you just keep on farming. And then Spectre doesn't like lineups that ball together and have a lot of sustain because Spectre's damage isn't fast. Spectre's damage is very over time. So when you play against sustain heroes, it becomes a bit hard for you to play. Like, imagine this, you Haunt. Let's say early game, you have Dispersion, you go in, you take a lot of damage, but they keep healing. Like, they have a Helm of Dominator Aura, a Dazzle healer, Witch Doctor here, a Mechanism, whatever, you know? So it becomes really hard. And then later, let's say you have a Radiance, and then you slowly tick them down, but they keep healing, or they have like 10 HP region here, 20 HP region there. It just becomes hard to fight. So basically, I think what's strongest against Spectre is if you can pressure lanes and take towers and just remove space from Spectre to farm. You don't even need to do much more. Because then Spectre doesn't farm fast. She needs to have a good lane or transition into kills with Haunt. So if then you can stay together or just take away the spaces, she farms slower, you're already in a good spot. So let's see what Dota Max tells me about Spectre. It says Viper. I guess because of the passive that removes the Nether Toxin that removes your 2 spells. You have Undying, he can own you. In the lane, wherever you go, he will own you, for sure. Tombstone is very strong. You do not want to fight into Tombstone as Spectre. And then the ultimate makes you take increased damage. Necrophos makes a lot of sense because the Heartstopper aura doesn't care about Dispersion as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you lose a lot of HP. Like I said, he has Sustain. Same with Undying, he has Sustain. Necrophos can kill you from X amount of HP because of Scythe. And you never really threaten a Necrophos. You have Lycan, he likes fast. All these heroes like fast games. Like all these heroes, most of these heroes enjoy fast games, or they have sustain, or they kill towers, if you look at it. It only starts at like Alchemist and Anti-Mage. They can like kind of farm on par with a Spectre. And then you have heroes like Phoenix, Tree, and Omni, like just sustain heroes with heavy teamfight or push. That is like the go-to against Spectre. So next hero we're gonna have Templar Assassin, Ursa, and Weaver. So let's look at TA real quick. I think TA is a bit easier and a bit faster. TA doesn't like to play against slows and lockdowns whatsoever in the early game, especially slows. This hero has no escape mechanism other than going invis or having refraction. Speaking of that, you don't like to play against heroes that can break your refraction. Darkseer comes to mind, Bad Rider, kind of the same stuff as Living Armor and Treant, Gale, Urn, Poison, Sting, whatever. But keep in mind, Urn, very good against TA. You gank a TA early on, you throw an Urn charge on him, and it will slowly break refraction, which is very useful. This hero is a snowball hero, and she likes to win fights rather fast. Like, she wants to peek at her Blink Deso, take Roach, go fight. Blink, Deso, take Roach, go fight, maybe win it, and then go BKB. And then once again, like I said, she doesn't like to be slowed or stunned, which means later on in the game she's relying on her BKB, just like Broodmother, to win those fights. So if you can drag out the fights or not lose the fights during TA's BKB, you might be on a good spot. So let's take a quick look at what Dota Max thinks about Templar Assassin. You don't like to play against PL and Terrorblade. You don't deal with illusions very well. And heroes that run at you, I forgot to mention that. Bad Rider, very good. He has a slow, he has a stun, he just makes it awkward for you to play. Same with Venomancer. The same reason why these two are listed here. Oh, you guys actually have a hard time because of the camera, huh? Oh well, I realized that a little bit late. Anyway, they're heroes such as Bad Rider and Venomancer, they will win the lane against TA because they break refraction and they will kill you. TA relies on that. Same with Ember Spirit. All these heroes that can catch and take down refraction, they're just very, very good against TA as a hero. So we have the next hero. As my cat is starting to cry a little bit. We have Ursa. Ursa is a little bit harder, I think, to talk about because the hero is very potent right now and picked a lot. Let me have a look real quick. Alright, so here we have Ursa. So when I think of Ursa, what do I not like when I'm Ursa? It's a lot of lockdown, or when I get kited. Being kited is just not good on Roche, on Ursa, and being slowed and whatnot. So 4 staffs and all these items, Glimmer Cape, Solar Crest. And then you have, if your enemy team can control Roche, it becomes a little bit harder for you to play, such as Clockwork and whatnot. Oops, sorry. Obviously, Ursa also abuses melee heroes. I think we all know that. So if you can put your lanes so that he's perhaps not against a melee hero, that would be great. Your Razors, Bad Riders, those sort of heroes. Let's have a quick look at what Dota Max would say about Ursa. By the way, keep in mind, I forgot to mention this. These games are sorted after very high skill and ranked, just to make sure we look at the best counters that we have in the community right now. Here you have your Arc Warden. It's a little bit hard to play against this hero overall as Ursa because you don't finish games very well. And like I said, they can control Roche. Razor is... he just owns you as a hero. He will own you in the lane. He will own you throughout the game. Another thing that I think is good about against Ursa is long range jump and catch. Heroes like Storm. Like evasive heroes that you can't kill that like keep screwing around with you. That's why heroes such as Weaver is good. And TA, I think a reason TA is good is that both these heroes contest Roche against each other and they both need it so much. So if one team can get it, it really hurts the Ursa if he doesn't get the Aegis. And then there's TA traps and whatnot, right? So, moving on to the next hero. Which is going to be Weaver. And I don't even know. So when I think of Weaver, I think of this evasive hero that doesn't like to be caught and stunned. He abuses heroes that don't have stuns and don't have catch. So heroes that are very good against Weaver are the ones that can catch him. Like long range stun and catch, Void, Storm Spirit. Magic Burst is also very strong against Weaver. He doesn't like to play against Burst. Like if it's long range Burst, that forces you to use your ulti early on. Perhaps, like I said, Storm, Zeus, those type of heroes are pretty good. And then, like I said before, Vision is, again, very key against Weaver. If you have a Bounty Hunter, a Spirit Breaker, those heroes are very strong against Weaver as well. Let's look at what Dota Max says. Dota Max says Void, Ricky, yeah. Silencers are good against him. Morphling, you don't really do too much to him. Yep, like I said, Zeus. Nyx Assassin is a very good example of a hero that's good against Weaver. He can catch you with, obviously, his stun. His Carapace is great against your Chikuchi. And then you have heroes such as Bounty, like I said. Bounty can catch you, Disruptor. Just long range catch or Vision is great. And with that said, we're gonna go on to our last category, which are the intelligence heroes. So you guys have maybe waited for this one a little more than the other ones. We have Crystal Maiden. So when I think of Crystal Maiden, I think of this person that wants to like stay outside of the fight, throw some spells, buff her team throughout the game with some aura, and then cast some ulti in a team fight. So heroes that are good against CM are heroes that can just jump her and take her out of the fight. I personally like to play Spectre against CM, because anytime throughout the game, I haunt. If she has a glimmer, I buy a dust. I go on her, I pop my manta, and the hero is dead in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter. The hero will die. Whether she's ulting, or she's running, or she's alone anywhere, the hero is dead. So I like Spectre a lot. Heroes such as Juggernaut, Nyx, Slark, all those heroes that are like evasive or have magic immunity or just get on top of you, they will kill you. That's why I'm mentioning these heroes such as Spectre, Jugger, Nyx, Slark. CM doesn't really do much to these heroes, apart from maybe Spectre in the lane. Well, she can pressure these heroes in the lane, but like I said, throughout the game it is very hard for CM to play. So, long range catch, people that can get on top of you, and long range burst. Once again, a hero such as Zeus would be great against a hero like Crystal Maiden. Like, if she gets caught by any of these long-range casualty spells here and there, she's gonna have to be careful throughout the fight. God, it is so hot. Let's look at what Dota Max tells us. Alright, you have Sniper. It's just hard for you to reach Sniper. You'll be long range. Phoenix has a lot of that AoE long-range casualty damage that I was talking about. You also are not very good at hitting the egg until you get a 200 attack speed talent, Klapper. Enigma. Silencer. Bristleback, he'll just run at you, he won't care. Like I said, long range damage such as Zeus. Here's a hero such as Juggernaut, a hero that can catch you such as Venge. Here you have your Lifestealer. Weaver is pretty good. He can catch you. Spectre is also up there. Keep in mind that CM has a pretty good win rate. Like, there's more than half the heroes in the pool she owns. So anything that is like up here is already a very good hero against CM. So now we need to look at the next hero, which is Willow. I have pretty decent knowledge about Willow as a hero. What the hell? Because I've played her quite a bit. So when I think of Willow, what I think about is basically, I hate to play against heroes that can dispel. Heroes that come to mind are Abaddon. I think one of the best supports against Willow is Oracle. Oracle's Q spell can take off every single spell from Willow. If you run into a Bramble Mace and Oracle Qs, it's gone. If you were Cursed Crowned and Oracle Qs that guy, it's gone. If you terrorize 10 people, let me just spawn some heroes and showcase it to you real quick. Why can't I move them? There we go. So, you do this, and now Oracle does this to them, and this to him. And they're both not feared anymore. And you can do the same if they're Cursed Crowned. Bam. Oh, I have quick kills on. Boom. It's gone. And it's the same if they're in a Bramble Maze. Gone. All the spells. And if Willow comes close to you with her ulti, you just W this guy, and he can't take magic damage. So she just owns you completely. Abaddon has a similar concept. He can purge all the spells, unless you ulti him, because then he's terrorized, he can't take it off because it counts as silence. But if Willow is trying to kill someone, he can just use his ulti and run into that person and soak up damage and get full HP as well. What else do you hate with Willow? You hate, once again, AoE casualty damage, because you're a squishy support and you rely on being evasive with your W spell, maybe some Yules, etc. So you don't like to play against this spells, you don't like to play against AoE damage that is like spread out, and you don't like to play against AoE stuns, because you rely on, or what you want to do in a primary Willow game, is using your W, then blinking out after 2 seconds, or using your W and TPing out. But against heroes such as Earthshaker, Axe, all these heroes, you cannot do that against. And then an item that counters you, Lotus Orb. Don't forget that. Lotus Orb is great against this hero. Also, this hero is not good against illusions and summons, because you don't clear either of those well, and they soak up damage from your Bedlam. Anyway, Dota Max is telling me that these heroes are very good. Pugna, you're a low HP hero, you deal a lot of damage to yourself with Pugna Ward. It makes sense. Elder Titan, he can stun you in your... Elder Titan can stun you in your form. Phantom Lancer doesn't care about you. He will doppelganger out of your shit. I mean, sure, Bramble Mace might be good against him, but it's, you have no spells. Like I said, you are not good against illusions, and PL just owns you. Zeus, long range damage, it makes sense. Oracle, like I've stated, Axe has an AoE stun. Magic built-in immunity, high magic resistance, AoE stun, AoE damage, purge. It makes sense, right? So the next hero that a lot of people don't know how to deal with is Enchantress. And in my opinion, so when I think of Ench, what does this hero not like? The hero has low HP, low armor. The hero doesn't like high magic damage or high physical damage. That's already quite a few heroes. The problem is this hero's laning phase is so strong. So how do you shut down this hero's laning phase? You need to understand what type of heroes you want against her. Damage amplification is very good against this hero. Heroes like Slardar, Pugna, Ancient Apparition, an item like Spirit Vessel, Solar Crest, and Silver Edge are all good. So, high magic damage, high physical damage, damage amplification, and itemization such as Solar Crest, Silver Edge, and Spirit Vessel are good against Enchantress. Prime lane counters before looking at Dota Max, in my opinion, Phantom Assassin, Batrider. Batrider, prime hero against this Enchantress. Heroes such as Clinks and Ursa are good, but a good Enchantress will purge your strafe and overpower with Enchant. But they're still good heroes. I preferably think that Batrider and PA are some very good options. Let's look at the Dota Max's opinion about Enchantress. Meepo, Phantom Assassin, Visage makes a lot of sense. The birds, you deal insane physical damage. Arc Warden, you don't deal too much. You don't do too much to Arc Warden. Sure, you win the lane, but throughout the game, Pugna, like I said, damage amplification, insane amount of magic damage. Phantom Lancer, you don't deal well with illusions. Brewmaster, you don't do too much to him. Throughout the game, Slark will buy a Silver Edge. Tinker has insane magic damage. Batrider is not up here yet, but heroes that can slow you, heroes that have damage amplifications or high amounts of either physical or magical damage are very good, especially physical, which is why PA and heroes like Visage and Meepo are just so far up here. Good. Let's look at the next hero. What is the next one on the list? We were just at Enchantress. Now we are going to Necrophos, another hero that is currently just taking over totally in Dota 2. He's been buffed numerous times. I already been talking about this hero for months, actually, even before he received the last 2 buffs. So he's very strong. So we have Necrophos. What does Necro not like? Necro doesn't like long range damage because he wants to, the way Necro wants to fight, he wants to try and be in the middle of people. He wants Heartstopper to reach, which is 700 radius, which I'm gonna showcase to you is about from here to here, which is not that far, and heal is even less. So you kind of want to be in this area as a Necro, right? So if you face anything that's higher range than this, you don't feel too good about it. At least if they can hit and run. So heroes like Sniper, your Phoenixes, Storm Spirits, whatever, because they can like go in and out, whatever. They're pretty good against you. You don't like high magic damage either, because if you ever get too much physical damage, you pop your Ghost Shroud, you heal, you stick, and you think you're gonna be at like very high HP again. Apart from that, what does Necro not like? Necro doesn't like to play against heroes at Purge, because they can take off the Ghost Shroud. Necro doesn't like to play against slows and silences, because Necro is already a very slow hero if you look at it. 288 move speed is super low. And most out of all, he doesn't like Spirit Vessel. Guys, please buy fucking Spirit Vessel against Necro. This hero relies on healing, staying alive during the initiation, getting a counter kill using Ghost Shroud, being full HP, and the fight is over. Okay? Just remember that. Let's have a quick look at what Dota Max will tell us about Necrophos. I think that Bad Rider is also a great hero against this one. Drow Ranger, okay. Lanes, too much damage amplification and a silence. And she likes a fast game and takes towers. Enchantress, like I said, she has a Purge. She can take off your goddamn Ghost Shroud. She can lane against you. And she has pure damage, which is great. Visage, you don't deal too well. Like I said, Sniper. Long range, he will keep hitting you. It just makes sense. He also has magic damage and magic burst. Gyrocopter, whatever. Pugna, damage amplification, magic damage, it makes sense. Darkseer, he can put you out of position with vacuum, has a lot of magic damage. He also builds items that reduce your damage. It just makes sense. Then you have heroes such as Ancient Apparition and so on. AA and Shadow Demon are very good supports against Necro. AA, for example, screws with your healing. Shadow Demon can ulti you, and you cannot use any defensive items whatsoever because the ulti will keep purging it. Your Ghost Shroud will be taken off. And that just makes a lot of sense to have these heroes. I also think a hero such as Anti-Mage is pretty good, but it's a bit harder to run him. He counters Necro as a hero, but in the lane, it can be slightly hard to get that hero through the lane like that. Skywrath Mage. Skywrath, already off the bat, I mentioned him earlier when there was Lycan. Skywrath hates heroes that can run at him. Slark, Jug, Nyx, Magic Immunity, Lycan. He doesn't like illusion heroes. He cannot deal with illusions for shit, unless they're bad illusions. Until later in the game, you're not good at dealing with illusions. Heroes such as PL and Terrorblade, what have you, they are not... Skywrath cannot deal with them. And long range catch. Those are the strongest criterias against Skywrath Mage. Long range catch. Storm Spirit. Sure, you're good against Storm in the early game and you can own him and the silence is good, but once Storm has a defensive item or once he has enough farm to jump you from afar, you will die and you will not survive. Heroes such as Spectre are good against Skywrath. Same story as with CM. You haunt, you go on him, bam, he's gone. Yeah, I don't know what Dota Max is gonna tell us about this, but let's have a quick look. Wraith King, Chaos Knight, like I said, you don't deal with illusions, you don't deal with people that run at you. Centaur, Abaddon, Pugna Ward. Pugna is very potent hero against Skywrath. Even in the lane, you could consider getting the ward at level 1 or 2. It's very strong. Oracle, she can mitigate all of your damage. She can also purge the silence. Like I said, a hero such as Spectre, because he can go at you at any moment. Phantom Lancer, you don't deal well with him. A hero such as Lycan or Spirit Breaker. Clinks, just evasive heroes that can go on you and bam, you know. It's very important that you try to have one of these heroes to deal with this Skywrath Mage. Next hero is Pugna, which maybe isn't played too much outside of the high MMR games, but very useful to understand of what this hero doesn't like to play against. Because you will see this hero at TI and at the summit and overall at games right now. This hero is way up there. This hero is a bit similar to some of the other heroes I mentioned. He doesn't like long-range catch, because as many other heroes, this hero is an intelligence hero with low HP, but high move speed. He wants to be elusive. He wants to dodge damage, you know. He wants to like maybe take 10%, but most of the time you're trying to evade stuns, have a Yules, have a Blink Dagger, stay long range, which is why you buy items such as Lens. So once again, long range catch, very good against Pugna. Heroes such as Ember Spirit, Storm Spirit, Earth Spirit, Nyx Assassin. Well, Nyx Assassin maybe doesn't have a long range catch, but he threatens you by being off the map as well, and he has an easy time catching you. Heroes that can run at you are also pretty scary, because like I said, you want to dodge and run around and evade damage, but if there's too many heroes that run at you, it can also be hard. And once again, you don't like to play against heroes that can purge, such as Necrophos, Shadow Demon, because a lot of the times you want to decrep yourself, you want to run around, you know, yada yada, I'm Pugna, I'm cool. Those are like some prime examples of what Pugna is not good against. Let's see if Dota Max would agree with me. You have Anti-Mage, hero that just doesn't care about you too much, can also run at you, and isn't pressured by you a lot. Lycan, he can run at you, and he has a purge. Why? Because Lycans go Necro Book 3. If Lycan runs at you, and he's good, and you decrep yourself, you will die. Because a Necro Archer will purge you, and you are dead. Huskar, same story as Anti-Mage. Pudge, he can catch you, he has magic resistance. Bristleback doesn't care too much, he will run at you. Sniper is not a long range catch, but he's very long range. You have heroes such as Centaur. They can catch you fairly easily with Stampede. And now you have some of these heroes that I mentioned. Clockwork, long range catch. Nature's Prophet has an easy time catching you. Ember Spirit, like I said, easy time catching you. So it just makes a lot of sense. And here's also some Morphling and whatnot. Lifestealer, magic immunity, it's very strong. We don't have too many heroes left, guys. We are now reaching Zeus, which I'm gonna talk about just like this, without having to spawn the hero and whatnot. So when I think of Zeus, once again, he doesn't like long range catch. He likes to play around, playing with Yules and Lens, Blink Daggers, whatnot. So here again, he doesn't like Storm. He doesn't like a hero like Anti-Mage. He doesn't like Spectre, because he can haunt and just go in and kill him. He doesn't like a hero like anything with a stun and a catch, like I said. He doesn't like sustain lineups too much, and he doesn't like lineups that end the fights fast. Zeus wants long fights where he keeps spamming his Q spell, his W, his ulti, and etc. And Zeus does not want to be dominated in the lane by heroes such as TA and whatnot. Let's have a quick look at what Dota Max tells us, and we have Broodmother, Visage, heroes that can run at you. Once again, Brood, Visage, Lycan, Anti-Mage, long range catch such as Storm, lane dominator such as Templar Assassin, built-in magic immunity that can jump you such as Lifestealer, long range catch, Bad Rider, Spectre, sustain hero such as Warlock and Undying, Omni Knight. It just all checks out. Clockwork, once again. Most of these intelligent spellcasters, they do not want to be caught. It is that simple. They rely on keeping range, having their lens, and using their spells. Alright, we have two more heroes. We are now at Warlock. So let's have a look. What does Warlock not like? Warlock has a high cooldown. He has a heal. Since Warlock has a high cooldown, he doesn't like to play fast-paced games. When you push a Warlock around, first of all, he's very immobile, he has a high cooldown. Warlock can go as fast as his Ember Spirit, his Morphling, his Anti-Mage around the map. So when you split push, it's hard for a Warlock to get a favorable fight. So Warlock doesn't like super fast-paced games because his Golem is high cooldown. You may end up taking a fight without Golem. And he doesn't like games where you keep running around left and right, because it's just hard for him to follow. And Warlock doesn't like to play against Purge heroes. Brewmaster with his split, he can take off Fatal Bonds, Upheaval at the end. He's also hard countered in lane by Oracle, because if you heal your ally, Oracle can purge this with Fortune's End, which is very useful. And once again, he doesn't like long range catch. Most intelligence heroes or heavy team fighters or saving heroes such as Oracle, they don't like to play against heroes that can get on top of them. Storm, Spectre, Ember Spirits, what have you. Let's have a quick look at what Dota Max is telling us about this. Broodmother, Huskar, Enchantress. You don't deal with any of these heroes well at all. You can heal your carry, it doesn't matter. Enchantress can also take off the heal. Anti-Mage, like these are either too fast games or split push games like I've talked about. Like you want to play in a game where every 2 minutes, right about that, you know, you're slowly looking for a fight. It's not too fast, but you get a fight every now and then. Heroes that can run at you, such as Lycan, Slark. And then you have the purges I talked about, such as Abaddon and Oracle. There's one more hero that I don't have open on Dota Max right now, which is Windranger. But I'll just straight out of my head real quick. Windranger doesn't like magic damage. She doesn't like to be caught by casual damage around the board. It's very bad. Hero is very squishy, such as many other intelligence heroes. And she doesn't like to be caught. Just like 90% of other intelligence heroes. If these heroes get caught, they die. That's why core Windranger, well, it has certainly made its comeback, but it is still not that easy to play. That hero requires skill and awareness. So magic damage and catch is very strong against Windranger. And then, you know, some armor items. Blade Mail hard counters the item, counters the hero. Heroes that can purge because you rely on Windrun is also very strong. And heavy team fight. The hero is not a team fighter. So if we take a quick look at what Dota Max tells us against Spectre. Spectre is good against a lot of these heroes because you haunt, you can go on them and you can kill them. Maybe if she has Windrun you can't. But anyway, Shadow Demon, high magic damage, and he can purge your ulti. Centaur, easy for him to stun you. Ember, easy for him to catch you. A lot of AoE damage on Phoenix, and he's a team fighter. High burst on Queen. Some heroes that just catch you or don't care about you. So yeah, that was the last hero I was going to go through. And then long range magic damage, like I said, with Zeus. It's just hard to deal with as Windrunner. This video went a little longer than I hoped. But I hope that this video helped you guys, at least in some way. Hopefully we will put timestamps down below so you can look up the hero that you want to look for, so you don't have to sit here for 50 minutes. I only had very few notes, and I didn't do this counter picking thing before, and it felt a bit weird with the flavor heroes. So if you have any feedback, then feel free to put it down below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, well, that's what I hope you did. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. And other than that, if you like the content I make and my stream, at 500 subs, somewhere there, I'll make a new educational video. So if you enjoyed this and you have a Twitch Prime or whatever, feel free. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great time, and I'll see you next time on my stream. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.